what we are discussing today, guys, is how to make money online, right? There are 10 big ways to earn income from content-led platforms, specifically online, okay? And we're moving into an age now, and I've posted a lot about this, in a bunch of different places, where the entrepreneur has fundamentally changed from where it was even 10 years ago, let alone 25, 50, or 100 years ago, right? When the internet wasn't a thing. And so what we have available to us as creators in terms of the ability to produce at scale and at volume is an opportunity unlike anything that has preceded it. And so for me, right, if you are a creative person with value to add, and I believe that we all fundamentally have value that we can add to the world, and you are not building your own thing, creating your own business, and creating abundance in the digital world, then you are missing out on an opportunity to truly tap into a flowing stream of energy, of audience, and of money that is there and that is ripe for the taking. Okay, and part of my purpose and really how I derive meaning from my coaching work that I do with clients is by helping others to make that transition, not just into the online world, but opening up and creating with the intention of increasing our income, right? And as coaches, as healers, and what I'll get into today, as content entrepreneurs, which is this new shiny term, right, to describe basically anybody that has a business, an online business. Again, we have an opportunity to really do some awesome things and some mixing and matching of different kinds of monetization plays, strategies, and tactics that, again, allows us to open up more than one stream of income, even under the same umbrella or with the same business. And so that's what I'm going to get into here today. And welcome everybody on Instagram. If you guys have any questions or thoughts, please just drop those in, and I will be sure to get to them. Okay. So what I'm really gonna get into today, and one of the best books that I've ever read that helped set this foundation of understanding and of knowledge for me, is a book called Content Inc. And it's by my mentor and the founder of Content Marketing Institute. His name is Joe Polizzi. And what he lays out in this book is really a framework for building a business almost in the opposite way that things have been done before, right? Where up to now, traditionally, most businesses have started with what they do. They've started with the product, the benefits, and the features, okay? With an emphasis on the products and the features, okay? Benefits might have been like a secondary or tertiary message. Now what we're seeing is a genesis of a new way of thinking where the modern online entrepreneur is leading, not just leading with content and with value, with education, but where the features and the products and the packages and the offers, those things are now secondary or tertiary. And it's more about how will this change what I have in my life? How will this help me get a better job? How will this help me to achieve my very specific goals? And that's where the value is. Okay. And so the content entrepreneurs that are able to show that upfront through the knowledge that they're sharing are the ones that are making massive leaps forward. And it has very little, if anything, to do with the products and the services, but everything to do with that end result. And so if we can show audiences how we can help them achieve that, then and only then will these 10 ways to earn income from content-led platforms come into play. But the 10 ways to monetize your audience that I'm about to share are going to be essentially, it's not going to apply if you're not bringing value and not sharing education up front. Okay. So that's a really important caveat to lead with and to understand. And again, I highly recommend the book. It's called Content Inc. by Joe Polizzi. All right. 10 ways to earn income from content-led platforms. So I'm going to list all of the 10 ways. These are the only 10 ways. And then we're going to dig deeper into each of them. All right. So we have products, services, ads and sponsorships, subscriptions, donations, conferences and events, cross sales, recurring customers, increasing your yield, which is basically upselling, right? And then premium content. These are the only 10 ways to monetize an online audience. And it's all predicated on the audience. This is why your audience is your asset. Your asset is not your product. It's not your service. It's not your ability to scale or your reach. The asset that you have in place is an audience that is willing to engage with you as the creator or as the coach, and the extent to which that audience trusts you and chooses you based on that trust when it's time for them to move forward in their purchase journey. Okay, so it's really all predicated on that, and each of these requires that to be in place in order for it to work at scale. Okay, and so without a loyal audience, really none of these are possible, at least not possible to scale, and to really create recurring, meaningful income month over month from. Okay, and it takes time to build. It takes time to build up, right? It's taken me just about 3 years to the date to get to, where am I at, like 61,000, I think, followers on the New Earth Knowledge platform. Okay, it's an investment, and so to be able to leverage each of these 10 different tools or ways to monetize an audience, like, it takes time, and most people fail for the simple reason that they're just not willing to put in the time to get there. They want to start with the products or the services. They want to start with the sponsorships or making money off of reels, or whatever it is. Like, they want it right now. They don't want to put in the time up front to build and nurture the audience. But if you take the time to do that, these things, not only will they start to become easier and easier, but your audience will come to you and they will literally tell you what they want. So this is why I say you don't need to know how you're going to monetize your audience from the jump. Like, just start creating your platform, just start putting out content and start educating, and then let the rest take care of itself. Your audience will tell you what they want. Okay. Is this making sense, guys? Okay, let's jump in here a little bit deeper. We're going to go through each of these. So number one is products. Okay, products can be physical, products can be digital, right? An example of a physical product might be a cassette. Okay, and those are not popular anymore, but I'm thinking about from a traditional teaching or educator or coach standpoint. A physical product could be a cassette, a group of training modules in DVD format. It could be merchandise, right? It could be a book. Okay, these are examples of physical products. Then you have digital products, online courses, right? A group or a package of pre-recordings of guided meditations or step-by-step directions in PDF format. And then a mixing together of various types of multimedia content that you have prepared and packaged up for your clients to use in a number of different ways. Okay, these are examples of products. This is what products are. Okay, we all know that, right? So with products, you want to start to incorporate different monetization efforts around those that can increase the business value of your products to your business, but then that can also bring value in and of themselves and add value to your customers as well. So I would say you basically have two different types of digital products. Okay, you have paid and then you have free, and you want to make sure that you're leveraging both within your business and in strategic ways, right? So free products are what you want to use upfront. You want to use these, before you ask for anything. Okay, and really, what this does is it helps to establish value, and it helps to start to generate trust among your audience that, hey, I have stuff that's valuable here, and I'm giving it to you for free in this PDF or in this video. These are examples of free products, and then what you want to do with these, typically they're called lead magnets, right? Is you want to use them to lead people along to the next step. And so another important point, right, to really put out there that a lot of people aren't thinking about is that you're not trying to sell anybody on anything from that first touch point in which they become aware of you, or when you're talking with somebody. You're not trying to get them to go from A to Z in that moment. You're just working to move them along to the next step. And so this is where freebies, where free digital products really, really have a lot of value, is in that initial conversation or that top of funnel stage of brand awareness. Okay, they help to establish your value and to add credibility, especially where others just aren't doing it. for whatever reason. Maybe they don't have the time, maybe they don't see the value, maybe they're focused on creating their paid products and services. Whatever the case is, by proving your worth and showing others that you're willing to share free value up front, they're going to be much, much, much more likely to then come into your email nurture streams and to engage with you, right? To continue the dialogue after that point, and then to be more knowledgeable clients, right? To be more knowledgeable clients when the time is right and when they're ready to take that next step, okay? So that's products, right? That's number one. Number two is services. So services can be products, okay? It's not really the other way around. Like you can't really have a product that's a service. Services can be products. So you can offer a 3-month or a 6-month coaching package, for example, where the parameters of that package are outlined up front. That's essentially a service and a product, okay? But when you look at it, like you wouldn't say that you wouldn't say that a pre-recorded, pre-packaged step-by-step video tutorial that you're selling on your website for $49, you wouldn't say that that's a service. Like that's a pre-made product. So services can be really any way that you directly interface or interact with clients in real time. That's how I think of services, right? Anything that allows you to interface and interact with clients in real time, service. Now services can have multiple components. You can have multiple levers in your service as well. So it doesn't just have to be direct communication with you where you're one-on-one with people. Services can be your response time. Services can be access to your customer service team or your response time when people reach out to you. Services can be a team that you interface with or that you liaise with and allow your clients to get in contact with if they want more information, right, on your program. And if they have questions like who can they come to, all of these things can be part of your service level agreement and your services package, okay? These are services. Number 3, ads and sponsorships. Ads and sponsorships. So, you know, I think the key here that I want to point out around ads is like, there's always going to be a place for traditional paid digital ads. Like if you're selling products and services, I was just talking to somebody yesterday. He has his own Shopify store, right? And he's like, should I be running paid ads to my products? And, you know, like it depends on you, on your business model, on your audience, on where your audience is spending time. Like if you have those insights, then yeah, you should be running paid ads to your products or to your services. Like as long as you're seeing a return, as long as your audience is there and there's interest. If there's no demand for what you're selling, then you're wasting your money, right? And you also want to make sure you're doing your ads in the right space. So if you're selling, I don't know, I'll just use the example that I was just referring to from yesterday. So he has a crystal shop, right? He sells orgonite and different types of stones as like pyramids, right? You're gonna have a lot more success reaching your audience on Instagram, running IG ads and Facebook retargeting ads than you are on LinkedIn, right? So you got to know how to advertise where your audience is. So I'm not going to get into the details of that right now, but all that to say that to me, the more effective method, and again, this is really high level, like this is a strategic level view, is what's called native advertising. Okay, and if you're not familiar with this term, go look it up right now. Native ads are fundamentally different from what you see when you see a paid ad or sponsored ad on Facebook, for example. Native ads are just what they sound like. They feel more natural when you come across them, and it's not overtly obvious that you're engaging with what is truly a paid advertisement when you view it, because it feels natural when you view it in stream. Examples of these are creators who would pay an existing content creator or an influencer, for example, to do a paid promotion on their page in a way that is consistent with their existing theme and brand that their audience is much more likely to want to engage with. This could be, so what I've done in the past, right? When I wrote ads on my platform, I put together proposals for influencers and advertisers that want to run or share their content on my page. what they would do is they would record, say, a reel of themselves talking. They would send that to me, allow me to put it in my branding so that it feels normal and natural, and to make it truly a nice fit for my audience and for my page. And then they would allow me to post that on my page while sending them that traffic, okay? So it feels a little bit more, it feels nicer, it feels cleaner, it feels more authentic and genuine to your audience when you're advertising in this way. You can do it on Instagram. You can do this on your blog, on your website, right? You can do this on your podcast, interviewing guests who, if you've got a huge following, who come on and who pay you to allow you to interview them. It's a softer touch point, right? And a much better way to advertise than the in-your-face paid stuff, which to me, it feels sticky unless I'm in the exact right time where like I'm looking for something, right? But other than that, like the click-through rate on paid ads is atrocious. Like no one clicks through on paid ads. You're going to be way more effective thinking about how can I be more native, more natural, and how can I work with other content creators that have audience in my niche to allow me to get in front of that audience, but to do it in a way that still feels right and interesting. Welcome, IG fam. Thank you all for joining. It's good to see everyone. Okay. Subscriptions. All right. Paid subscriptions. What comes to mind when I think about paid subscriptions, first and foremost, is any sort of publication that you take signups for and charge a small monthly fee in order for access. So in the modern age, like in the digital age, we see this manifest in platforms like Patreon, for example, where people have to sign up for a small monthly fee in order to get access to the content that you're putting out. Okay, subscriptions. Another example could be an e-newsletter, right? Where you have to sign up and you have to pay $3 or $7 a month to receive access to your weekly insights that you share exclusively for your newsletter subscribers. Okay, I use Substack to run my newsletter. I have it integrated with MailChimp. I have a couple different like email streams, right? Hard to keep up with. So the thing with a subscription model is like, to me, is my favorite monetization play of all of these, because it's recurring income and it's predictable. Like, you know, when you get somebody signed up, as long as you fulfill and provide value, you know they're going to continue to stay. But it requires a lot of commitment, time, and energy to continue to produce that value. So much so that it is worth paying for week over week over week, or on a monthly basis, whatever your model is. Okay, and that's subscriptions. Again, you know, the value here is in addition to the repeating predictable income that you're getting, it is the ability to continue to put yourself in front of your audience, who obviously knows you and trusts you, and to continue to show them week after week after week why you are someone that they should be listening to, and why you are a person of value. And that's really what you get with subscriptions. Okay, really, really powerful tool for content creators that are looking to get front and center with their audience, right? And to get that repeating monthly income going on. All right, then we have donations. So donations are, for most of us, it's marginal. Where you see donations really take off and where they start to become meaningful and not marginal is really around cause-related marketing, or humanitarian efforts. Okay, and so like, if somebody is like in dire need of help because their family member went through just some horrific tragedy, and they have, you know, like a deep need for assistance, like, and they put up a page where people, like a GoFundMe, for example, like, those are the situations where you see donations really take off. So I'm not going to get super deep into them, because again, for most creators, donations are, again, it's just like a marginal thing, if at all. Like, I've received probably a handful of donations over the last 3 years of creating content, you know, and it's like, I'm so grateful when they come in, but it's not meaningful. Like, it's not substantial in terms of the bottom line, like strictly in terms of the bottom line. So it's not one that I'm really thinking about at this moment, but that can be useful, especially when related to cause-related efforts, right? Or if you're running a green business, for example, where it's like people just want to donate to be part of the movement. this is where donations can be really powerful. What's up, everyone? It's great to see you guys. Veronica, Lily, thanks for hopping on, guys. All right, we got 5 down, we got 5 to go. So conferences and events. So for most of us in the entrepreneurial space, coaches, right, any transformative leader, the way that we see conferences and events most commonly manifest is in retreats, okay? Retreats, get-togethers, small group live events, where as you develop as a leader and as you grow your business, you want to start to get bigger. You want to start to be able to host larger and larger groups for your events. You might start one-on-one, then you might graduate to small groups of 3 to 5 people. And then from that point, that's where you start to think about scale and growth. One of my friends and mentors, he does public speaking. He's been doing that for years. He's constantly building his brand and his equity from a personal standpoint by continuing to do those speaking gigs. And so where he is now is not where he started when he started speaking 4 or 5, 6 years ago, right? And so he's now able to speak to audiences of hundreds and hundreds of 500 people, whereas when he just began, it was probably just a small room, like a boardroom full of, a dozen people. And so the same true for you and for your ability to grow your events-based business, okay? And events can be really powerful. Like events, bringing people together in person has a distinctly, powerful and transformative energy that truly, like, it's hard to tap into online, because being there in person, it forces presence. Like it forces a different kind of connection with the group and with you that is really tough to mimic and to tap into online. So that's conferences and events, right? So let's continue to move on. It's been about a half hour. And again, like we can distill each of these further. We can do a deep dive into any of these. If you guys desire that, just let me know and we'll do that at another time, or shoot me a message and we can definitely dive deeper, right? But for the sake of time, let's just go ahead and move on. We've got 4 more here. So let's knock these out. Okay. Premium content. Premium content is content that you will most often sell on your website. Okay. Obviously online, we're just talking about online, right? Premium content, it could be a newsletter. It could be a magazine that you send to people via direct mail, right? But that nobody's doing that for the most part nowadays. Let's stay focused online. Premium content, I'm thinking about platforms like OnlyFans, where yes, it's a subscription-based platform, but it's also, it has a strong element of exclusivity, right, around it. And for that reason, this would be one example that is both a subscription and premium content, okay? Premium content could also be an ebook that you host online. I'm thinking about, Amazon, right? For those individuals that they're selling books, for example, maybe on their website, on a bookstore's website, and on Amazon. This is just a very broad example. Like that is an example of a digital product and of premium content, because you have to pay for that content. It's not content that's readily available. It's behind a paywall, okay, or payment gate. So that's premium content. Cross sales. This is where you are, you're basically offering recommended or suggested or similar products to complement what you are offering, what's already on the table for individuals based on what they're likely to need, of course, when they're purchasing a specific or single product, okay? And so again, I'm just gonna go back to the example of coaching, because I know a lot of you guys on the stream are in the coaching space. So the way you wanna start to think about cross sales as a coach, as a guide, as a mentor, is you wanna know your desired product. You wanna know your desired sale with the individuals that you're bringing in, right? And so this works best. This is really like cross sales. It's not going to work if it feels fabricated and fake. Like you actually really have to give a shit about what you're proposing. And you have to make sure you're doing it at the right time so that it doesn't feel fake and slimy. And an example of this, right? Again, just like the way that I have leverage this in my business is I had an existing online course, right? People that showed interest in that course, I would then be able to speak with them, to get to know their goals, to feel into their energy, and to then know, hey, this person would actually be a great fit for one-on-one work. Like, I can see they're committed. I can see they're here to invest in themselves and to level up and to really grow their personal brand or their business, whatever the case was. The course will be beneficial for them, and I know that it will. But what would complement that in like a way that would just allow them to grow beyond words would be pairing it with one-on-one work. This is just one example. Okay. And so then you want to add that to the mix as an option, right, to allow it to then complement that initial purchase. Okay. Again, there's a lot of strategy. There's a lot of tactical stuff around this, right, that I'm not getting into because this is a high-level conversation. But when you start to think about all the different things that you can add to, right, that you can add to your offers, like, you start to see how the expanse can open up for you, and how there's so many possibilities of ways that you can not only make more money and not only monetize at a larger scale, but you can add infinitely more value to your customers' lives by introducing cross and really upsell opportunities. Okay, so that leads right into upsell, right? Increasing your yield. I basically just described that, so I'm not going to jump into it much. The difference with this is that you're helping customers to ascend in your business. You're helping them to continue on with you, to continue getting value, to continue growing, but to become more high-paying customers and more high-value customers. So they're getting more from your service. Yes, they're going to be paying more as you introduce new levels and new tiers of service or of products into their reality. But you're also, and this is the key, like, you're making it easier for them to continue to get better, and you are helping them to grow. And it should be obvious to you and to them that they're doing so, and they will continue on with you, right? Okay. Premium content, cross sales, upsales. And then the last one is basically customer retention. And so recurring customers, right? And I kind of just hit on that. And this one is relevant for almost all the others, right? Products, services, subscriptions, for sure. Like, subscription models don't work if you don't have recurring customers. You need recurring customers for that to work. Ads and sponsorships, like, this is just maintaining relationships with people that you've worked with once and making sure that you're fulfilling and that you're producing value so that they can continue to come back and continue to want to work with you. Donations, conferences and events. I don't know anyone that just wants to run one conference or one event and then be done. Like, you want to grow your business. You want to run 3 or 5 events within the next year. Like, and you want people that signed up once, right, for one of your events, you want them to come back and to continue to gain value and attend. And so retention, honestly, retention is just as important, if not more important, than customer acquisition, right? Than getting new sales. And so it's something that you do not want to be ignoring, right? And you want to constantly make sure you're fulfilling on your recurring customers for that reason. All right, cool, guys. So this has been, I think we're up right around 40 minutes. I hope that this has brought you value. We're going to go ahead and cut it here. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Always here to help.